Hey there everyone, it's Elmarie. My call sign is KJ5LXP, and today we're at Andrews Lake to hopefully climb up towards the base level of Snowden. We're going to be seeing if we can activate the mountain and bring the radio up there to explore the Icom IC-705. The weather conditions are, I would say, a good 50-50 right now. It's looking like it's going to clear up, so kind of waiting right now to watch the weather and see how it develops. Overall, I think it'll get better and better as the day goes on. Excited to really test the IC-705 in a hiking type of environment. Right now it's in my pack. It's a really lightweight radio, which is really great for anyone who wants to do SOTA activities like we're about to do right now, or just put it in your backpack and take it out in the city or walk around with it. It's super lightweight and it's amazing because it has all bands, basically all modes that you could think of. It's like a base station all in one nice little package. It's a really great radio, and I'm really excited to take it up this mountain and see how it performs. Looks like the day is going to be continuing just like this weird cloudy, snowy type of weather. As long as we don't get lightning or thunder, we'll be good. But with that in mind, let's go. Today, I'm hiking up to Snowdon Peak, one of my all-time favorite trails here in the San Juan National Forest near Silverton, Colorado. This route is about 6.1 miles round trip with roughly 2,400 feet of elevation gain, and it earns every bit of that hard rating on all trails. It's a steep one. Some sections climb close to 70% grade, so it's definitely a workout. I've done this hike multiple times before, but never with an HF radio strapped to my pack. Today's goal is to see how far I can make it, ideally into the activation zone for a potential SOTA attempt. But if the weather turns out poor or we don't make it that far, that's totally fine. For me, it's about the experience, not just the summit. What I love about Snowdon is how much variety it packs into just a few miles. Quiet forest trails shaded by tall pines, open alpine meadows bursting with color, and eventually a rocky scramble that feels like another world entirely. I've never actually summited Snowdon. That final stretch is a class 3 to 4 scramble with some real exposure, but one day I'd love to try it with a more experienced climber. Whether we reach the activation zone or not, this hike is what Colorado radio adventures are all about. Pushing yourself a little, carrying your gear a little higher, and seeing what kind of connections you can make when you're truly in the backcountry. We're at like this meadow area. Snowdon is that mountain right there. As you can see behind me, the clouds are starting to build up. We checked the radar. Thankfully, we've got some cell surface. It looks like it's just gonna go right past us. Yeah, we're gonna be monitoring it, and we may not get much further. It really just depends on, you know, how this develops. Safety first, as always. Yeah. It's now snowing on us. Got all this, I believe some people call it grapple. I don't know, some meteorologists are better at defining these stuff. I'm not a meteorologist in any type of way, but we're definitely in this right now. My mic didn't record properly here, but what I was saying is that rock climbers actually scale that right side over there. From this point though, we're headed into the steepest section of the trail. Take a listen. Right up there. Oh my gosh. It is cold. Well, we've made it up to the base of Snowdon. No way we're gonna be rock climbing or scrambling up that, but I think we found this good little tree shelter to set up potentially our antenna. It's supposed to clear up as it goes on, but my hands are freezing. My hands are freezing, and it's snowing harder right now. Yeah, summit's on the air, y'all. Summit's on the air. That's nice. That might be where I put the antenna. As we reach the base of Snowdon, it starts snowing. Pun intended, obviously. Completely unexpected, but that's Colorado in the fall for you. Sometimes the mountains just decide to throw snow your way out of nowhere. The wind was absolutely brutal, cutting right through us, and my dad, who's with me, and I are scrambling to find any kind of shelter. We finally found a spot to cluster in some trees and end up hunkering down there for almost an hour. It was so cold and miserable that even thinking about setting up the radio felt impossible. We just sat there, waiting it out, hoping the snow would pass, and thankfully it did. But once it cleared, that's when the next set of challenges started. So let's get into that. Y'all, it's freezing. Here is the Icom IC-705 QRP radio. We're gonna be running 5 watts up at 12,000 feet of elevation on the 20-meter band. We're gonna be calling CQ. Oh, let's get going. We got signals. Is this frequency in use? What's going on? I'm not transmitting out. Yep, you heard that right. We weren't transmitting anything. After all that hiking, all that filming, and finally making it to the top, nothing. No signal was going out. It was such a gut punch moment. We worked so hard to get up there, and to realize the radio wasn't working was just devastating. I was shocked, frustrated, and honestly a little heartbroken. The only difference between this and our earlier POTA activation was that I had started experimenting with the IC-705's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi features. I'd connected it to the SDR app, and it worked amazing. And it was so cool seeing it in action, so that was the only real change I could think of. At first, I thought maybe the mic had broken or that the freezing temperatures had affected the gear. It was snowing easily in the 30s, so I figured maybe something just couldn't handle the cold. We tried everything, and we even powered on our handhelds to test it. We could hear the 705 key up on the Baofeng, but it just wasn't transmitting. We could receive signals fine, but nothing was going out. It was so bizarre. Eventually, we gave up and started heading back down the mountain. But partway down, my dad stopped for a break. I just couldn't let it go. I sat down, unpacked the gear again, and thought, okay, last ditch effort. I've been playing with digital settings earlier, so I decided to try a full factory reset. I set up the antenna again, powered everything back on, keyed up, and boom, it worked. The relief I felt in that moment was unreal. I looked at my dad. We'd been hiking for nearly 6 hours and said, do we want to go back up? He just smiled and said, yeah, we made it this far. So we packed it back up and started the climb again. It's windy. Super windy out here, guys. Before we get into any of the contacts, I just want to mention we were dealing with some really bad interference, most likely from the wind, but honestly, who knows? That's the thing about field tests. You never really know what you're going to get into or what might go wrong. And I'll be honest, I had no idea we were in the middle of a QSO party. I've never really participated in one before, and no one ever really explains what those are. This hobby is so much learn as you go, and while there is a rule book, no one hands it to you in the moment you key up. I was just out there trying to make some contacts, calling around, when suddenly I start hearing all these different operators sending numbers and exchanges I didn't recognize. It totally threw me off. Thankfully, someone took the time to explain it to me that it was the California QSO party happening that weekend. But in the moment, I felt so confused. It's such a strange feeling as a new operator. You're excited to get on air, to make contacts, and suddenly you realize there's this whole other side of the hobby happening and you didn't even know it existed. So if you ever stumble into something like that, just know you're not alone. It's all part of the experience, and at that point, I was just happy to make any type of contact at all. I'm getting a lot of noise.
Yeah, I'm not able to pull anyone out there. It's all in the noise. Sorry about that. Q or Z?
Kilo Juliet 5. Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-ray Papa.
Kilo Juliet 5, Lima X-ray Papa. Thank you. Your number 261, El Dorado. Echo Lima Delta Oscar.
SOTA Mountain Whiskey 0 Charlie, Sierra Juliet 010.
Okay, that sounds like a park number. What state are you in? What state?
Colorado, it's SOTA, Summits on the Air.
Oh, okay, so it's on the air. Sorry about that. I'm doing California QSO party. So I got you here in my log, number 261, and I got you for your SOTA. 73, thank you.
73s.
Whiskey 6 Echo Charlie Kilo.
Whiskey 6 Echo Charlie Kilo, got you 5-9 here in southwestern Colorado, activating summit number Whiskey 0 Charlie, Sierra Juliet 010.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the contact from Colorado. I've got you 5-9 into California, Angel Island, also doing SOTA and California QSO party.
Fantastic, sir. Thanks for hunting.
All right, thank you. Did you give out any California serial numbers today?
I'm a little new to QSO parties, so I really don't know what the numbers mean.
Okay, it's just how many contacts to California you've made. So if you haven't been keeping track, you're not going to submit a log to the QSO party anyway, so I can just use one. But if you have a sense of how many California contacts you made, I can take that number.
Ah, very good. I think I've had about 5.
Okay, sounds good. I'll take 5 as your number of contacts, and good luck with your SOTA activation. 73.
Thank you. I'm freezing my butt off. 73s. This trip definitely didn't go as planned. The weather, the wind, the setbacks, and being a newer operator, still learning along the way. But that's what makes these adventures memorable. Every hike, every activation teaches you something new. And in the end, once we got back down and took another look at the 705, it was fine. A quick reset and was performing perfectly, just like always. Sometimes it's not about the contacts you make, but the lessons you carry home with you. Even though the hike went longer than expected, we were treated to some absolutely stunning sunset views over the mountains. And honestly, that alone made the entire day worth it. Now that we're back at the car, I've got a few final thoughts to share. Here they are. We made it back. We hiked down and then hiked back up. When we first got up there, we thought there was something wrong with the radio. We plugged in our microphone and our signal wasn't being transmitted. We really thought it was going to be a bust. We hiked all the way up there and the radio wasn't working, but it worked fine the other time. We were actually here at Andrews Lake State Park, just here in the parking lot, doing a POTA activation. It was amazing. And so it's like, okay, we tested our gear. It was great. Let's go up to the mountain, activate on top of the mountain for like a SOTA attempt. And so we went out there. It was intense. So we get up there, we're sitting in there. We probably sit there for about an hour because it was just extreme temperatures and extreme winds. And I didn't want to grab any gear. I didn't feel like setting up. My hands were literally like becoming numb by the second. So we waited out for about an hour, and then finally it's like, okay, we should set up. As soon as we plugged in the mic, it wasn't transmitting. We kind of give up, like, okay, well, that's a bummer. Gonna have to like go look at what's wrong with it when we get back. We get back down from the steep section, and I'm like, okay, no, what's wrong? I'm texting my good friend. His name is Prep Him Paul. He's a YouTuber as well in the amateur radio space. And I'm texting him like, I don't know what happened. Like, has this happened with your 705? Like, what is going on? I recalled that I had played around with some Wi-Fi settings and some Bluetooth settings. So I was playing around with that with the SDR app for the IC-705, and it worked. That worked great. Bluetooth was functioning, Wi-Fi was functioning. So that was the only like system difference that was different from when we did the POTA to when we went up to do the summit. So I'm like, well, I was playing around with these settings, so why don't we try to factory reset this, like at the very least. I'm like, we factory reset it. I hooked up the antenna, put up the mic in, and keyed up, and thank God we got signals. We didn't hike down too far, but granted, it was probably the steepest section of the hike. It's like, okay, no, we're going back up. Let's do this. And hiked back up. It's now, what time is it? My activities time says 8 hours and 30 minutes. We signed in at the sign-in sheet at 11 a.m. and then we signed out at 6:40 p.m. And right now it is 7:12. We're now back in our car. And my activity time says 8 hours and 30 minutes. My mileage says 6.35 miles. Thanks for watching. This is KJ5LXP, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.